thanks so much for stopping by my channel. This is Anna's Aqua Home, and today I have a project inspired by Pinterest. I saw this cute little scrunchie that had Mickey Mouse ears on Pinterest. I thought I've got the perfect fabric to do that. I know a little girl who loves Mickey Mouse, so through that one scrunchie idea, which hopefully I can put a picture here, I'll screenshot it. Through that idea, I ended up deciding that she didn't just need a little Mickey Mouse scrunchie, but she should probably have a skirt to go with it. So she now has a whole outfit to wear, the scrunchie and the skirt. She could wear it with a cute little black shirt and she'd be good to go. So I hope you stick around and get some ideas on how you can make a very simple toddler kindergarten skirt. This project can be done with half a yard of material or 2 fat quarters. Right now I've cut my half yard to look like 2 fat quarters, but pretty much this is just 18 inches wide by 21 inches long. If this was a half yard of fabric, it would be folded over here. So if you have a half yard of fabric, just cut this off up top. I'm going to take one piece and I am going to cut, let me fold it over so it's a little bit easier to cut. And on this one piece, it can be either the front or the back. This skirt isn't going to really have a front or back, so either one would be fine. We are going to cut, I'm going to cut 2 inches. Let me see, I'm going to cut a little bit wider than that, 2.5 inches, because I'm going to be turning this into a scrunchie that's going to match our skirt. So that's pretty much it for the cutting. You're going to cut the scrunchie off, and then this is going to be the skirt. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. And we are going to put right sides together. So we're going to put this side facing up and this side facing down. We're going to match up the corner here, the 2 edges, and we are going to sew down this side. And then once we've sewn that, we're going to match this side up with this side and sew down that edge. So both the short edges are going to be sewn together. For the Mickey ears for our scrunchie, I've got a little bit of black fabric. I've got 2 pieces. What I'm going to do is actually fold them over so that when I cut, you're going to be able to, I'm just going to cut one time and it'll cut both pieces symmetrically. So I'm going to go ahead, start here, then just make a nice round part down here. I'm not using a template for this, I'm just pretty much freehanding it. All right. And that's going to be what our Mickey ears look like. So for our scrunchie, we are going to take it and fold it long ways and sew down this edge. And then for the Mickey ears, we're going to put right sides together. I'm going to start here and go down just on the edges all the way down and around. We're going to leave about an inch opening right here where we are not going to sew. So definitely leave a little space because we're going to have to turn these ears inside out. And here we go. Here's the skirt that's sewn on both sides. Here is the scrunchie, and here are the little Mickey Mouse ears that are going to go on our scrunchie. For this, I'm going to go ahead and before I turn it inside out, I'm going to clip these corners, make it a little bit easier to have these corners lay flat once we turn it inside out. And then I've got my scrunchie and I'm going to turn this inside out. So let me turn these inside out and then we'll get on to the next step in the skirt. here we go. We've got our little Mickey ears. We've got our scrunchie. We're going to set these aside and we are going to do our next step on our skirt. What we're going to do is for both sides, both the top, we're going to fold it over 1/4 of an inch and just sew right in the middle of there. So you can fold it over 1/2 inch if you're more confident sewing with a bigger section of fabric, but I'm going to sew over 1/4 of an inch and just sew that down. And I'm going to do the exact same thing to the bottom. At this point, it doesn't have a top and a bottom, so we're going to do the exact same step on both raw edges. And it is sewn. We've got the top sewn over 1/4 of an inch and the bottom also sewn over 1/4 of an inch. This is when we get to make the sleeve for the elastic to go through. Now I have right here 1 inch wide elastic. So this is how wide my elastic is going to be. So what I'm going to do is fold over, there we go, so that, and we're going to sew, I'm going to sew over this line that I just did, and make sure you're not sewing that there's going to be enough room for the elastic. So you're going to want a little gap here, about 1 inch and a little bit. So we're going to fold over a little more than 1 inch, and we are going to sew over the line that we already sewed. And we're going to do that all around the skirt. Now, if you're going to start here, you don't want to come and end here, because then there would be no place to thread the elastic through. So you're going to want to leave a small space, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, where you're not going to sew. You're just going to sew from here on, and then from here, we'll put the elastic in, and then we'll go back and finish that up. So you can see this side has 2 lines that I've sewn, but on the good side, there's only 1 line. And here you can see how I turned it over a little more than 1 inch. And now there's a nice pocket to thread the elastic through. I cut my elastic at 18 inches, so that means once I fold it over to sew, it's going to be a little less than 18, about 17, and this has lots of stretch, so that I think will be perfect. I'm going to get my safety pin again, and I'm going to thread this through one side of my elastic. And now I can start threading it through my skirt. So as you thread it through, you're going to pull it and this is the last time it'll lay flat. All right, so as you get to a certain point, you're not going to want to pull any more of the elastic through, because then it'll get lost in here. You're going to want to hold it so that not all of it threads into the skirt. And then as you sew around, you're just going to push these gathers around. I'm going to switch and hold it with this hand since I'm coming back around. I'm just going by feel, pulling that safety pin as I go around. It's going to come right out where we left off. Perfect. Let's move these gathers around. Then you're going to just take this to your sewing machine, pull the gathers down, and you're going to go over it several different times. Just sew it together over and over. Make sure that it's both laying flat. It's not twisted up there. But as long as it's both laying flat, you can just put it over about 1 inch, go back and forth on it. For my scrunchie, I'm actually going to use one that's not as wide. So this is 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to do 6 inches right here. So I'm going to do a small little bit, cut that off, and I'm going to use the same technique. I'm going to take my pin, go through there, and I'm just going to thread it through my scrunchie. Once it gets to the end, you're going to want to hold it. I think this is going to be so cute. All right, pull it through. And for this, I am not going to sew this scrunchie. I'm just going to collect it, both of them together, and I'm just going to put it in a knot. It's easier to do that with the smaller scrunchie. It's easier to do that with the smaller elastic. Once you have that knot, just pull it tight, stretch it out. There we go. I'm making a cute little mini scrunchie. This is for a little 5-year-old, so you'll see that this small size may not fit an adult, but that's okay because we're just making it for a child. I'm going to move it around this knot so that it's not right with my opening. See that? So here's my opening and here's the knot down here. And then what I'm going to do is take one of these sides and I'm going to fold it in. There we go. Use some scissors. Fold it underneath about 1/2 inch. And then, now that we've got a nice clean edge here, we're going to thread this in. All right. So now we've got the raw edges inside our scrunchie. We've got the knot over here that's out of the way. So now we can just take our sewing machine and sew right across this little scrunchie. So I'm going to pin it there. And the next step we're going to do is sew across this scrunchie to finish that, sew across the elastic, and I'll show you the few final steps for this cute outfit. Right, there we go. Pull that in. How cute is this little skirt? Oh, that is going to be adorable. So now you're going to find the place that's still open and we're going to sew those 2 inches down really quick. Okay. The final step on our skirt is to do this bottom hem. So, however long you want the skirt, you could fold it over 2 inches and sew it there. You could fold it over just another little 1/4 inch. However long you want that skirt, you can certainly make it longer or shorter depending on the size of your hem. So I'm going to do about 2 inches, sew around that, and my skirt will be complete. And then I'll show you the last step on the scrunchie. remember this? Here's how we're going to attach it right to our scrunchie. So we did not sew down this little part that was open. You can, but there's really no need because we're going to do a knot right around that part. So right here, where we sewed this scrunchie shut, we are going to thread through our little ears. And we're going to turn them around, and we're going to tie them right onto this scrunchie. Alrighty. Tie them again in a little knot so that they're nice and secure on there. And here you go. You've got a cute little Mickey Mouse scrunchie to go with this adorable skirt, Mickey Mouse skirt. Here we go. How cute is that? Any little girl would love to get this as a present, as a new outfit to wear. This is just too cute, and you can tell from here, well, you can't tell, but remember how we cut off on the bottom or on one of the pieces a little part for the scrunchie? By the time you get it into a skirt, you can't even tell that the one side is a little bit smaller than the other. So here we go. We've got our cute Disney outfit, skirt, and scrunchie. I hope you're inspired to make one for a little girl in your life or maybe for yourself. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. And here it is. It is so cute. I absolutely love it. The little skirt and then the inspiration that started it all. These little tiny Mickey Mouse ear scrunchie. I just think these are so cute. I actually know some adults, I think if I were to make it not a mini scrunchie but a full-size scrunchie, they would also like one like this. So let me know what you think in the comments. Would you wear a little Mickey Mouse scrunchie if it were a full-size one? I hope you enjoyed watching me make this Mickey Mouse inspired outfit, and I hope you got some ideas. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a great week.